I hope you all can hear me loud and clear. You're welcome back to our continued broadcast of events that will eventually lead to the peaceful march to Aso Villa by Omoyele Sowore and any other person who is interested in joining him. Sowore has thrown a challenge, especially to Igbo leaders. That's why you see me dressed in my Igbo attire. You know, I I'm a member of Take It Back movement, which Omoyele Sowore already also belongs to, and the African Action Congress and the Revolution Now movement. And we are fighting for everybody who exists inside Nigeria as it is today. Nobody chose Nigeria. We just found ourselves in Nigeria. Okay. So it's not like we prefer Nigeria to any other place. That's why they put us there. We just found ourselves in Nigeria and we're Nigerians. So when we fight for everybody who calls themselves a Nigerian. We protect the rights of people who want to stay in Nigeria and the rights of people who don't want to stay in Nigeria, who say, you know what, not just that they don't want to stay in Nigeria, but they are questioning the way they are treated in Nigeria. And they think, look, let us pause and analyze this thing. Is it good? Is it good the way they are treating us? So we represent everybody like that. And um Showore has gone ahead to not just challenge the whole of Nigerians, but to challenge people from the southeast. And he told them, yes, we're busy. I'm not an able man. That's what Showore is trying to show them. I'm not an able man. Even though I'm from the south, okay, which has very close relationship with the southeast. But that's not what this is all about. It's about you people that they say charity begins at home. You people that are the closest brothers and sisters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, why don't you get up and do something? Okay, you know what? I will lead. I will lead. Since nobody is doing anything, it's taking 10 years now. It's not that people are not doing anything, but I think it's time to match our words with action. So I will lead. Let us go, not just on the streets, not to the National Assembly, not to the newspaper house, not to the TV station. We have done all that, but let us march to the home of the person who is leading Nigeria right now so that he cannot say that he did not hear it. So that's why Shore has declared this march. It's happening on the 20th of October. And he has invited everybody that calls himself a politician in the southeast, and he says, come, let us go. Let us go to um um let us go let us march to this place. And hold on, guys, let me send something else to Aloy Ejimakor. Let's march directly to the president's house. That's what he said. Let's march to the president's house. And and while he's there, okay, this is good. This is good. I'm just looking at something that they put online. I'll share it with you. And it was shared by Barrister Ejimakor. Okay, good, 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 good. Barrister Ejimakor is now in the studio, and I'm happy to bring him up. You're welcome, Barrister Ejimakor. Barrister
Thank you,
Ejimakor,
Chidi.
Ejimakor, I say Ejimakor. Sorry about that mix up. But you know, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're such a busy man. I was just scrolling and I see that you're busy on Twitter sending something. You're all over social media. I don't know.
Yes, yes.
I don't know where you get the strength. You're up and doing, sir. I commend your effort. I commend your strength.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so please, without wasting time, always a pleasure to have you in our studio and to have you honor our invitation, even at the very shortest notice. But bring us up to speed concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. I saw a presentation, a publication where you tweeted that my client should not die in detention or something like that. So please bring us up to speed concerning the situation with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his case, where it stands in the court.
Okay, I didn't get all of that. Can you speak a little bit louder, please?
Oh, okay, okay. How about now? Can you hear me louder?
Yeah, yeah, louder. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
bit
okay.
louder now. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to speak into the mic. So, like I was saying, could you bring us up to speed concerning the situation with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case?
Okay, well, what we have before us is what is playing out in court right now. As everybody already knows, the hearing yesterday could not hold because there's a role the Nigerian Medical Association was assigned to play by the judge prior to yesterday. At the last adjourned hearing on the 26th September, the judge had ordered the Nigerian Medical Association to submit two separate reports. One on the health status of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the second one on whether he is still fit to stand trial. Um, to my knowledge, they submitted the first one. The second one, which I think is more critical, was not submitted. It wasn't in the record before the court. So the court extended the opportunity to them to do that before the 16th of this month. And then thereupon, it scheduled the case to be heard on the 16th of October. As a defense team, of course, we are not happy with that. Our client is not feeling too well. It's public information now. And the aim of the defense team for now is to, get him back on his feet health-wise, to take care of his health as soon as possible in an environment that is equipped to do that, not in an environment of detention or the detention environment. That was why our motion requested the judge for an order to transfer him to a hospital. So that is the current situation.
Okay, so what is the implication if the report comes back and the report says, okay, just give us the two scenarios. If the report says, oh, he's okay to stand trial, and the second report says, oh, he is physically fit, what are the implications? Or if the report now comes and says he's not physically fit, like we already know, it confirms what we're thinking and says he's not fit to stand trial. What are we expecting?
Chidi, we're very optimistic. When a lawyer goes to court with a prayer, all his hopes are hanging on succeeding on that prayer. I don't see why there should be a contrary order or decision from the judge, except to align himself with what we had requested. It's writ large. The motion was supported by a detailed affidavit deposed to by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's personal physician, a renowned professor of medicine, and also medical reports that contain copious results of the various tests carried out. So my hope, and I hope with confidence, that on the 16th of October, we shall prevail on that application, and our client would thereupon be transferred to a hospital where he would receive proper care.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now, let's fast forward to Omoyele Sowore's tweet.
Okay.
We all woke up to the tweet by Omoyele Sowore saying that he is ready to lead the charge, whoever is, and he was charging all the those who consider themselves to be southeastern leaders to come with him. You know, let me read it for those of you who don't know what Omoyele Sowore said. He says, I will set aside my differences with some politicians for one cause. I challenge every politician or person of good conscience from the Southeast who says they want Nnamdi Kanu released to stop the rhetoric. Time for action is now. Let's march to Aso Rock Villa. Every governor, senator, member of the House, traditional ruler, priest, Igbo person, and every Nigerian who believes in Kanu's freedom, come out and do more than talk. I will lead this peaceful march to Aso Rock Villa. No more empty noise. Let's Soludo, Senator Baribe, Alex Oti, Pitobi, and all others who claim to care step up and join us in person. We'll go together peacefully, legally, and visibly to demand justice and an end to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's persecution. When you saw this, what was your reaction, sir?
Well, my reaction was instantaneous. I saw it few minutes, probably 18 or 19 minutes after he posted it. I was very happy. I was also very proud of him to have done that. It shows that he's a man of guts and strong convictions. Chidi, if you query AI may tell you that I was the first person to step forward to volunteering to join him up. If I wasn't the first, maybe second or third. Uh, that would tell you as good as AI is these days. So now, I mean, that kind of demonstrates my unalloyed support, my wholehearted support for the proposed match. And I'm happy that the date has been set for October the 20th. And I'll remove my wig and gown and don my comrade cap, jeans and t-shirt, and be there on October 20th. And I'm using this opportunity to appeal to all men and goodwill everywhere, at home here in Nigeria and those in diaspora who can afford to fly in, to come in and boost the numbers. The march is going to be very peaceful, and to march is protected under our constitution and international law. It's not going to be a violent event. It's a very civil event that is going to just express the displeasure of those in the march with what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So Sowore is a man to be commended. He's a man to be proud of. From day one, he has been very consistent in condemning what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. From day one as well, I have been very consistent, even from when he was forcibly brought back from Kenya. I blew the first dog whistle that by doing that, the government of Nigeria has unwittingly created a permanent prosecutorial barrier that will be insurmountable. I don't think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is amenable to prosecution, not even to talk of trial. And even before then, you can imagine the hollowness of the charges. All these things stem from his demand for referendum, his expression of his right to self-determination. Every other thing on top of it is all trumped up just to create a basis for a criminal charge. That was why when I was in the front line leading the defense team, my goal was to block the trial, relying on every legality and every provision in the Constitution and international law to convince the court that he cannot try this man. We call it preliminary objection. Is all over there on social media and the media that I
Mm-hmm.
was very boneheaded about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not being subjected to trial. But at some point, some other lawyers were brought in, mostly senior lawyers and everything. And, someone said, well, let's see how this trial goes. But we have seen how it's going since 29 March this year when he came to a new judge. Is it going well? That is the question. Is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fit for trial? In consideration or considering his lengthy detention, people have forgotten that this is a man that has spent 6 years plus in pre-trial detention. During the first phase of his arrest in 2015, he spent 18 months in
Mm.
detention without trial, without
Yes.
conviction.
Mm.
During the second tranche of his ordeal, beginning from when he was renditioned in July 2021, he has spent over 4 years. So cumulatively, it has been 6 years of pre-trial detention without conviction. So it's coming to a point where you can safely characterize his detention as a form of forced imprisonment by the state. So that it is roiling the general public and roiling people like uh, Omoyele Sowore, who, by the way, has seen an avalanche of volunteers, including some members of Abia State House of Assembly. And most notably, just a few hours ago, or maybe an hour ago, I saw the news break that the House of Representatives member representing the constituency from which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu held, Honorable Obi Agocha, has stepped forward, offering to join in that march. And I know Obi Agocha, I've interacted with him, and I know this is a man that has stood behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from day one as well. He has been a bastion of support and strength and encouragement throughout all this ordeal. I expect others to step forward, and of course, most notably again, we have someone like Chief Rafu Wazulike, the Okenwa of Igbo land, who made a video, and that video has gone viral. I posted the video on my handle because I was proud of what he had to say. So we have people stepping forward, and I challenge others who are still sitting on the fence to rise and step forward and join that march on October 20th, because enough is enough. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Ejimakor. You have always respected you. You're a very dogged fighter. I know when, right from way back, how you've been very consistent. You've tried not to listen to what people are saying. You believe in results. It's on record that one of the very first judgments that that you got against the government, that was gotten against the government of Nigeria in this case, was you. I remember. I think it was in Omoyele that they got that judgment. So it's on record. It's not. It's a no-brainer, the kind of person you are. And I know about other cases that you've been involved in. Now, what do you want to say to people who, because a lot of them exist. I've seen them on social media. They have limited information about this case, and they go around saying things that they think they are doing anybody any favor. But I want you to make, how does it affect the case when people come saying things even against you and the team of defense lawyers, publishing all kinds of things online? How does it affect the case, and how should they conduct themselves in the light of this project? Because Nnamdi Kanu is a project, not just a project for the Igbo person, but a project for every Nigerian, because injustice to one is injustice to all. It's Nnamdi Kanu today, it may be another, and it will be another person tomorrow if we don't get things right with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah, well, Chidi, that's a very good question. Um, everything else considered, we have seen a particular common factor from 2021 when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, a certain pattern in those social media remarks or criticisms that you refer to. They are not remarks or criticisms, they are pure, barefaced, vile blackmail and a tissue of mischief coming from a certain quarter that has been identified and unmasked. That we do not want to call them by their names does not mean we don't know who they are. But I can tell you a few things that can point you to who they are. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned in July 2021, I stepped forward and said he wasn't extradited. That was what everybody was talking about. People had limited understanding of what extraordinary rendition meant. I practiced law in America for several years, and the first extraordinary renditions were being done by US government and Israeli government. And I know it's unconstitutional. I know it creates barrier to prosecutions and trials. I knew these things. I studied it. So when I saw how he was forced into Nigeria, I knew right there that trial or prosecution would turn out to be impossible. And I spoke about it publicly. The same set of people that are still blackmailing me and members of the legal team and members of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's family and people like you, and they also are, blackmailing some of our brothers from Ontario, Canada, who have been very, very vocal, and those in North America. The same set of people publicly took up on me, and some of them were calling me a crazy American lawyer with crazy ideas that won't sell. Some were even saying that my mountain extraordinary rendition is a coded message to God knows who to do Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in. That defense I was suggesting, that line of defense, that I knew it was doomed to fail. But lo and behold, that was the argument that won the case at the Court of Appeal. I stand here to tell you proudly that I wrote that part of argument on extraordinary rendition because I had the best understanding of it. The next best person, or the next person that had a good understanding of it, was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, because I took all the materials to him, at the DSA detention facility, and the man is very smart. He's a quick learner. So he read it up and he agreed with me. And in fact, he suggested some lines of argument, which the Court of Appeal adopted. It's not as if I'm taking credit or anything. I'm just giving you a historical background. So the same people that criticized that defense are also the same people that came out and started celebrating the victory based on that defense. That is very duplicitous and very evil. It's the same people that also criticized me or blackmailed me when I went to the High Court of Abia State to seek justice against the federal government and in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for that Python dance.
Sure.
They were making fun of the trial and giving the defense, the federal government, keys, certain coded keys, and some of them not so coded, on how to defend the lawsuit. They did, and they failed. And the victory came, and they kept quiet. Some of them just came out and said, 1 billion only, should have been 100 billion. But they criticized the lawsuit, or they blackmailed me. Then the second victory that came from Federal High Court Omaha suffered the same fate with them as well, because all these things are public information. The internet doesn't lie. They go after me when I take these steps. They call me all kinds of names and everything. And then when the case is won, they begin to celebrate. They are double-faced. They celebrate. They use the fruits of these cases to make cases for themselves or overseas, because these cases prove that members of IPOB in Nigeria are prone to persecution,
Yes.
or that they possess a political opinion which the government of the day in Nigeria, or at least the past government, was seeking to suppress by means of punishment of some sort. These victories that I scored on, underscore that point. And some of these people blackmailing me are using the thing to be prosecuting successful asylum applications around the world. I mean, what greater evil can you see than that? And the same thing goes for the High Court of Enugu State. When I succeeded under very difficult conditions and everything, I have faced a lot of threats to my safety and everything. Handling these cases and still keeping my head on my shoulder, it can only be by the grace of God. I have aged, exponentially since 2021 when I took on these cases. I wasn't looking this elderly. It has taken a toll on me, but I work happily, stoically, and very proudly. And I am here to win, not to gossip on the internet. So when I filed the Enugu case, seeking to declare that decision, to declare IPOB a terrorist group, they were blackmailing me and say, you're not IPOB lawyer. You're not IPOB lawyer. Come on, man. I mean, how can you quarrel with success? I'm fighting for you and you're telling me I'm not an IPOB lawyer. If I'm a lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu briefed me, everybody knows that. And then automatically I'm an IPOB lawyer, is the leader of IPOB, and you're saying that he's your leader as well. So why are you crossing that? Sometimes I face challenges in court because the federal government will seize on that and file a motion challenging my right to file the case. And they'll be filing all this evidence, and I overcome them anyway. But we won the case in Enugu, and the rest is history. And they turned around and latched on the case, and they celebrate the case, but they were against me, issuing all kinds of blackmails and everything. And but the unfortunate thing is that the government that we fight these cases against and other non-state actors aligned with the government, they seize on these blackmails to question some things or to undermine what we are doing, and even try to undermine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That has happened on many occasions. Everything cannot be in the public, but we have fought a very big battle, not only to confront the legalities of the case and the difficulties inherent in marshalling defenses, but also to combat or diminish the impact of these people that are blackmailing lawyers and blackmailing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu indirectly and undermining his case while using his photograph, his image, as their DP or display picture on their social media accounts. That is the trick they are using. So when you click on it, you see the picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and a lot of them, have spam accounts. We did investigations. One of them could have like 50 or 20 or 30 spam accounts with different phone numbers emanating from all kinds of countries. So to trace that their spam is difficult, but we have traced that. So they can come and on social media and post something and say, Chidi has turned a white man. And then he will use his 10 or 15 other spam accounts to quickly go in there and agree with the falsehood he has just posted. That is the trick they are using. And we found that we have a whole dossier of intels on them. And at the right time, it will be made public. Perhaps as soon as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released and is aware of what we are talking about. Some people are saying incommunicado, dungeon, whatever, but we do have access to him, and he does get full briefing from us. He's a man of intelligence and a man of contemplation and tact through very impeccable sources. He knows what is going on. He knows where it's coming from. He knows the purpose, the hidden purpose, even when you're, abusing his image or mounting or touting him as your leader, but you do things that undermine him directly or indirectly. He knows all these things. He's not a foolish man. So what we have now as official policy of the legal team is to ignore. We cannot engage any miscreant there or any non-state actor using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's picture and masquerading as an ally or as a Biafran, and then using that platform to undermine what we're doing. We figured it out, and they are not going to be engaged, because engaging them is to make them more popular, if not more notorious, and give them more visibility. So we are keeping our eyes on the ball, and we are going to prevail at the end of the day. And our client, the alpha male himself, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, supports this official policy of ignore. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, let me just, because, uh, what you just talked about here, that's been my life. Okay. I believe in I believe in substance. I don't waste my time with shadows and with clouds. Okay. The only thing is that some people, they will waste their time on things that are not tangible, or on smoke. Okay, and by the time they realize that they've been whiling away their time, their whole life is spent. Okay, so I believe in substance. When I have any issues, I don't know why people are like this. Even when I am so happy that I could reach you and find out facts. And even when I reach you outside this space, in the background, and you tell me something, why would I go chasing shadows when you're hearing it from the right source who has contact with the man in question? You that you're writing dossiers on social media, you don't have no connection with Nnamdi Kanu, no connection with the lawyers, no connection with the family, no connection with any. You just wake up in the morning and you just fabricate these things. And I know I face the ones I've faced over the years, but I'm happy they've lived to see some of those things that they were concocting stories about. Some of them have come to pass the way we predicted it, and against all their fallacious publications. And some people don't seem to realize that one day all this will be over and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be a free man. And
Yes,
I don't think they can fathom it. It's like it's something they can't. I don't know. They think they think that day will not come. One day it will happen. One day it will happen.
yes,
Even the people, and that's what I want to. Sorry, I want to take this opportunity to appeal to some people. Maybe this concept, you're not used to it. You have not seen a case where someone like Nnamdi Kanu comes back to society, and continues to do what he is doing. Some people have posed the question to me and say, Chidi, do you really are you comfortable with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming back into the society? Don't you know what it means for Nigeria? Don't you know what it means for Igbo people? And they have suggested that I be part of the group, or part of a set of people who will go to Nnamdi Kanu and tell him to stop his struggle. And when I give them my answer, they are surprised. I tell them that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I, I'm not his confidant. I don't have access to him. But I can tell you for free, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will never stop the struggle. There is no reason for him to stop the struggle. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. What he's doing, that's why he has lawyers who are defending him. That's why they would have finished the case a long time ago if it was an easy case. So people should begin to, I don't know, maybe they need therapy to understand that yes, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out and be part of the citizenry, and say whatever he has to. If he breaks the law, he will face the law like any other person. There's no two ways about it. It's just any other ordinary citizen who will come out. So let me just commend you and your team for what you're doing. I know it's been a rigorous thing, and but you guys have stayed there, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your team. Whatever you guys are doing, you are the experts. I'm not a lawyer. We don't understand this. Sometimes it's complicated. Sometimes we are so impatient because we just come to court and then they throw it to another date, and you come again and they throw it to another date, and we're like, what is going on? But I know from the perspective of a professional, I'm an architect. sometimes when we're doing the foundation, which is the most important part of the building, the client is coming there and all they see is dead. They see people digging and people are still in the trenches for a very long time. Okay. But all by the time you lay a good foundation and you come up to the surface, everything begins to move very fast. And one day the building is finished and you're sitting right in the place where we were doing all the digging and bad water and everything. You're sitting in your beautiful parlor and everybody is happy. I know that is what will happen with Nnamdi Kanu's case. So thank you very much. Before I
Thank
let
you,
you
Chidi.
go, before I let you go, what is the importance of this march that we are all going to get involved in on the 20th of October? First, to Igbo people, second, to people of the Southeast, and finally, for everybody that is a Nigerian. What is the importance of this march on the 20th of October?
Well, this is good. This is supposed to be a mass movement. The Sowore, the initiator, has just opened the honest nest. The avalanche of volunteers and the positive comments that you see on social media and mainstream media are indications of the abiding popularity of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the perception and the reality that are pervading the entire society that this is an innocent man undergoing an unfair trial, undergoing a trial by ordeal. But it takes someone to bring this out, and that it had to take someone of Sowore's stature to bring this out is a good thing. Sowore himself is largely seen as apolitical, non-partisan, so it will help a lot to bestow credibility on the planned march, on the planned protest. And I can see a situation that this is going to go beyond Igbos alone and citizens of Southeast alone and draw a retinue of Nigerians of other tribal, religious, and ethnic extractions. So at the end of the day, any objective bystander will take note, will take stock and say, yes, this is a very credible crowd stepping out and backing something that is good. And backing a call for justice is supposed to be good. Anybody that believes that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should continue to be in detention or continue to face trial should point to one reason that should be. When it is clear to everybody, international media and Nigerian media alike and the general public, that the same government that is subjecting him to this ordeal is openly negotiating with very violent terrorists in the northern part of the country. So it's a contradiction that I think has brought people to think twice. Even those that were unwilling to cut Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the slack and give him the benefit of the doubt are thinking twice. Human beings have thinking faculties. You cannot deceive them for too long and expect them to continue to be deceived. So I'm expecting a very successful match on 20th October, and I'm expecting that it's going to be non-violent and peaceful. And I think there's going to also be a vigilance to identify mischief makers who might come in there to cause mischief. The same set of people that cause mischief in social media, pretending to be supporters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are looking out for people like that because they already started raising doubts. I have seen some social media posts from these same people I told you about. They started saying things about Sowore, how he's not an Igbo man. They started saying things like me. Some of them attacked me and said, What business do you have with the match? Nnamdi Kanu is my brother. I'm an upstanding Igbo man. He is Igbo's most favorite son. And you're asking me, what business do I have with it? And you're an Igbo man yourself.
Can you
I have
imagine?
too many businesses with him. One
Can
of
you
them is
imagine?
I'm his lawyer and a top ranking one at that. I'm an Igbo man like him. And three, I'm a believer in all the things he believes in. And somebody's already attacking me, attacking Owazwike, attacking Obiagocha. Even someone attacked Atiku, who has issued public statement, and those someone, and that someone or someones are the same set of people that I talked about previously. They pretend to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but they go against everything that promises to be good for him. And they will use someone as a poster boy. Either they use me or they use you, Chidi, if they think that will score the goal for them, or they use someone else, you know. So, and
Uh,
they think we are fools. We forgot. So we expect to succeed. We
sure.
expect to prevail. In conclusion, I thank everyone who has taken time to listen. I thank you, particularly Chede, for your forays and for your commitment to bringing all these things out so people can listen. I have told everybody who is in doubt, especially those who live in Europe, which is nearby, if you're doubting anything, fly in and have a visitation with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm the one that prepares the letter and signs it. I'll gladly put your name, anybody, any doubting someone. So you can go there and discuss with him and assess things for yourself in person. But to stay somewhere in Europe or anywhere, mostly in Europe, that is where it's coming from, or some fringes of America, and you draw conclusions and then go public with it, is the most despicable thing to do. And finally, I thank my brothers and sisters in North America, those in the United States and Canada. You have been a source of strength and support. I will not start calling names here, but we have the record of those who have stood behind us, you know, throughout all these travails, and those who have stood behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I have the record of everything, and I thank you all. You know yourselves. If you're listening, you know I'm talking about you. Wherever you are in Canada and America, Chidi, I'm sure you have a little bit of an idea of the people I'm
I
talking
know, I
about.
know, I know.
And if anybody in Europe has also supported us, you know yourselves, these gratitudes also go to you. I thank you all, and may God bless us all, and may God give us the best outcomes on October 16th and October 20th for benefit of all and for benefit of our dear good brother, the big elephant in the room, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Barrister Aloy Ejimaka. As always, thank you for honoring our our invitation. And like they always say, it will all end in praise. We will laugh last and we will laugh the best. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Chidi. Bye
Okay,
bye.
sir. Bye bye,
Bye.
sir. Bye. Okay, guys. That was Aloy Ejimako, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer. If you want to call, I'm going to make a call. There's some other people that will join us. I'm going to stay here for a little while. If you want to place a call, because I see some of you are itching, I'm going to put a number here. Uh, 92837. You can call on WhatsApp if you want to call on WhatsApp. You can also call direct if you want to make a contribution. And if you want to come live, you see, I challenge those of you who say all manner of things. You're cowards. Okay, you're cowards. If you have something to say, I prefer you just like get on and say it. That's what you should do. Don't stay in the background and just talk, talk, talk. If you have something to say, just say it. All right. So if you want to come online, please do come online. And if you want to call, you can call. Okay. Um, Let me type this. Okay. All right, so please go ahead and make. If you have something to say, say it, say it, say it. Pick up the mic and pick up your phone and call, or on the click on the link. I understand some of us are in places where maybe you're in Nigeria, you're afraid of the government tracking you. That's okay. You can leave a comment, or if all you can do is share the video, please go ahead and share the video. There are so many issues that this Shore's announcement has bubbled out to the surface. Okay, some people have, their political angle to all of this. Some people have their religious angle to it. Some people have their tribal angle to it. All of them. We want to discuss about it. We want to talk about it. A lot of things are going on right now. I know on Twitter, on TikTok. Okay, I have a call coming in. Um, Hello, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Dr. Chidi, this is Chidi, calling you from New York.
Go ahead, Chidi. How are you?
Good. Dr. Chidi, it's really nothing I want to say. It's not that I didn't call maybe to try to, you know, talk down on nobody or whatever. I just finished listening to, you know, the guy you just, interviewed. And then, you asked him a couple of questions, which he did answer. And then, I have a reporter on some of the things he answered, which ain't right. Like everybody's entitled to their opinion. Being that, one of the IPOB members, and then there was something he said. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. But just before you go on, if you don't mind, I just
Yes.
if you would agree with me, um there are this there's IPOB as an organization, right? IPOB
Yes,
as
sir.
an organization has its structure. IPOB has this internal issues, and they have it even with the person that was here, Barrister Ejimakor. But the issue, the bone of contention right now, is that Omoyele Sowore, who is not an Igbo man, who is not an
Okay, well,
IPOB member, is
yeah,
calling people.
that's okay.
I'm coming, my brother. I'll let you speak. I'm just trying to set the stage, okay? So this person is not even directly involved in what is. He hasn't called for Biafra. He's not an IPOB person. He's not an Igbo man, but he is going to put his life at stake. Is going to be in front as he leads a march to Aso Rock, where there are military men with live ammunitions. He has called for people to support this thing that is happening to our brother. That is the bone of contention of everything that we are discussing. So I would really appreciate if our contributions, our discussions are centered on that. I don't want to get into internal, wranglings in
Well,
IPOB.
I
Or
see
so
what I see
I'm
what
just
you're
saying
saying.
that for you to understand that it will be almost like a waste of my time right now, because I mean, it doesn't make somebody will look at us and think we're stupid. Like, what are we doing? What does it how
Okay, I'm
does
gonna
it
respect it.
do you
I'm gonna
understand?
respect the fact. Yeah, I'm gonna try to say, do as you said, but it's just that sometimes seeing what we have been through in this struggle or whatever, and then there's some things that are sometimes when somebody come out to speak in regards to that, this thing it kind of pisses me off. But I understand what you're saying, and I have to respect your opinion. Yes, the call for Sowore, from what he did, or for the march for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it's a very welcome development for sure. It's just that sometimes Sowore, I like his style. I won't lie to you. But just that sometimes we don't know. I understand that he wants a better Nigeria. There's nothing wrong with that. But for the better Nigeria, he wants to, he's the fighting for. Um, if he can actually tell himself the truth, if sometimes we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria it's a country that can never work, regardless of who becomes the president of that country. It really doesn't matter. It's never going to work. So what he did is a very good call. It's a good call. Everybody should support him. I support him, And then, like I said, if the way, like you said, we're all seeing what is going on in the northern part of Nigeria. The bandits, they have so many of them, maybe up to 9 or 10 of them in the north. Sometimes when I think about someone who say he wants to become the president of that country, where do you even start from? When you become the president, how do you take care of these people? They've taken over most of the north, and this body is something they're agitating for.
Okay,
they want their own
Chidi,
states.
Chidi. You see what, like, what I'm trying to say now is, the problem of Nigeria, the issues about Nigeria, it doesn't matter from where you cut it. It is what are people say immediate, And I'm trying not to make this platform the platform for what we are discussing right now. The bone of contention, like I said, is
Let me let you go. Let me just let it go.
exactly,
Let it go.
yeah.
So I don't want too much
What
of
I
that.
want,
So
what I
the
want,
truth of the matter is,
yes.
the truth of the matter is, yes, the call is a good call.
Hello, I
Call
think.
is a good call. It's about time for everybody to actually come out because this persecution Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going through. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody, and they know for sure that this man has been discharged and acquitted. They want to use him for a political gain or whatever. What this guy did is the right thing, and we still we pray and hope that a whole bunch of people who have been mute for all these years this man has been incarceration will come out and join this peaceful march. Even what's his name? Wazirike even said, he's ready to come out. And so is other
Oh
people. So
yes.
we just hope they're going to come out, and then they just come out and demand this man should be released. Not even about the treatment. The treatment is very important, but he should be released unconditionally because this man they didn't find nothing against him. They're just holding that man. Chidi, let me be honest with you. They're holding that man just because he's an Igbo man. It's as simple as that.
Okay,
They're holding because he's an Igbo man. That's
Chidi.
just the truth.
You see,
And I'll stop right here.
exactly,
I'm not going to say anything more.
exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. You said something very, very prominent. Owazurike, and the issues that Owazurike had with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For people who don't know the history, you see, a lot of people, I just look at them and I know they're Gen Zs. A lot of them just, became of age and they saw this whole issue and they started contributing to it. They don't know the history. We've been on this thing for so many years. Owazurike don't see eye to eye with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but for Owazurike to make a video, maybe some of you have not seen that video, but Owazurike made a video and he said that, listen, me, I'm willing to be one of the first people to step out and go and join Omoyele Sowore in this march to Aso Rock. Imagine, Wazirike himself, he laid down whatever was his differences with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he says, "Yes, I'm willing to go." So if somebody like that is willing to go there, that's why I didn't cheat. If you're listening to me right now, that's why I didn't want you to start going into the wranglings or whatever that is happening inside IPOB. Sure, himself. I think the watchword there, the word that the guiding word for everybody in this project is to lay aside our differences. That if you can just lay aside your differences for one goal, Omoyele Sowore, he said it all. He said, I am willing to lay aside my I know Omoyele Sowore inside out, just like he knows me. So for sure, to say there are some people that politically does not see eye to eye with them. He believes they are the ones that have run this country to where it is right now, have killed people. But he too is willing to lay aside whatever he feels about them for this singular cause of asking for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be freed. So if he has done that, who are we that are the brothers of Mazi Nnamdi, direct brothers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to now see anything against it, or to be holding a grudge we have against someone and allow it to influence the call that Omoyele Sowore has made? So I commend people like Owazurike. I commend somebody. Imagine me saying I commend Atiku. What would have led me to say I commend Atiku? But I commend Atiku for being in support of this. Everybody is seeing it as injustice against a man. That's purely what it is. So I want to please beg everybody, caution everybody, to just lay aside the differences you have with anybody concerning this case and come out and support. This this is a rallying call for all of us in Nigeria. Even if you're not matching, like when they have all this, there's a marathon that they normally do, you know, Terry Fox marathon. Terry Fox was someone who had cancer, and then when they told him he was going to die, and he said, okay, he's going to use his remaining days to raise awareness for cancer. And he went on a long walk across Canada in the rain, in the sun, in the snow, he kept walking. Even after they cut off one of his legs, he just kept walking until on the rest of his days. He lived the rest of his short life raising awareness against cancer. And in his honor, they always have this race every year where people come out and they donate money. And when you're donating money, you say who you're running for. Do you understand? And people will come there and say, I am running for this person who has cancer. I'm running not just for Terry Fox anymore, but Terry Fox has made us now run for other people. When we are going to march in this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's march, it's not just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There has to be a reason why you're running. There has to be somebody that a situation in Nigeria that you look at that situation and say, it is because of this situation I'm running. So these are the kind of things that we want to see. Let everybody lay aside that Ejimakor did this, Wazirike did that, this one, that one. Just lay it aside right now. Our singular project is the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because it's not fair now. I mean, people that killed people, people that cut off people's head, did all kinds of atrocities, recorded it on video and showed it. You're negotiating with them. While you're negotiating with them, they have their live ammunition and they are still comfortable. You're comfortable staying with them. But somebody who does not have anything but a pen and his mouth, you're saying that he should be tried for treason. That doesn't make sense. Our lines are still here. It's +16479892837. I'd like for you to pick up the phone and call. You can call on WhatsApp. And also, if you want to come into the studio, I posted the link. You can click on that link and come into the studio. But for some of you who don't believe that Owazuike actually supported this march that's called by Omoyele Sowore, I'm going to play. I'm going to play this video by Wazirike, just so that you guys will see that for real, Wazirike supports the march to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just take a listen.
I've listened to the court appearance of Nnamdi Kanu today and listened to the representations made by his lawyers, and which to say that I want to be part of any peaceful demonstration in Abuja or anywhere in Nigeria for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. I personally reached out to Barrister Ejimakor long ago, telling him that I would want to be one of the witnesses, defense witnesses to Nnamdi Kanu. Recently, just about last week, I reminded him of my desire to be one of the defense witnesses to Martin Nnamdi Kanu. You can ask Alo Ejimakor. I told him. So for this new development, I want to be part of it. I'm ready to go to Abuja or any part of Nigeria where such demonstrations will take place. I will be part of it, provided it is anchored on non-violence, peaceful protests. I will be there, and I mean it. I will personally be there. This is not all about Nnamdi Kanu. This is about Ndi Igbo. If anybody thinks that Nnamdi Kanu is being humiliated today, no. It's Ndibo that are being humiliated. It's not about Nnamdi Kanu. There's nothing like terrorism, this and that. Nothing like that. When my men were being killed in the streets of Southeast, were they terrorists? What did they do? When Nnamdi Kanu, when Ojukwu was declared to be arrested by DSS, simply because he said he supports or supported Wazirike. He was given a one-way ticket, economy class, to Abuja. What did he do? It was just to humiliate Ndibo by commanding our leader, Odumegwu Ojukwu, to proceed to Abuja on a one-way ticket, economy class. So all these things, I know them very well. It has got nothing to do with Nnamdi Kanu. It has to do with Ndibo.
All right, guys. So that was that's just to show you that um uh, uh that was Ricky. That was Ricky responding to Omoyele Sowore's call. Okay, and for those of you, you keep hearing Omoyele Sowore say, "Oh, Chidi, Dr. Chidi, you were there from the beginning." Yeah. When Sowore said he wanted to meet with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in the heat of the moment when there was great division between Igbos and Yorubas over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his utterances, the way Nnamdi Kanu was approaching. Nnamdi Kanu was very, very heavy on Yoruba people. His language, he was just attacking them because he felt they were dormant. They were not making moves against President Buhari. A lot of people truly misunderstood him. They thought he was a bigot. They thought he hates Yoruba people. Nnamdi Kanu doesn't hate Yoruba people. It was just his anger was that there is a lot that Yoruba people could have done that they were not doing. It was way before Igboho started this thing. But he was just angry. He wanted to provoke Yoruba people to do something. He wanted to provoke Hausa people to do something. He wanted to provoke every part of Nigeria to do something. Nigeria to do something. But the language, I must tell you, his language then was unprintable. But Sowore did not shy away from reaching out to him. He said, Chidi, we must talk to this guy. I said, okay, Mr. President, let me see what I can do. And now the rest is history. And I had that very crucial meeting in New York. And of course, if you know, you know, it was that meeting that started everything. It was that meeting that led to Omoyele Sowore's arrest when he came to do revolution now. After that meeting, DSS said, oh, they're planning to overthrow the country, and all of those things started happening. So this thing has been, not be today. So let me play the video for some of you who are new to these things, and some of you even tell me, Chidi, what have you done? What are you doing? I don't see you talking. We are we are gradually becoming ancestors. We are like things you have to go and consult. Okay, so this is the video of when they were in New York.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's, as you all know, the IPOB leader, and we had a private meeting and also a general one, which will be published later in video. And it's in the quest to seek justice in the geographical space known as Nigeria today, which you all know that I've been passionate about, and he has also been passionate about, but on a different layer. And we respect those boundaries. And but we've had very, very useful conversations today, so that everybody that's aspiring for a just and fair society, can come together and rise up now and bring about an end to the sorrow and the suffering and the domination and the oppression that become almost synonymous with our agenda.
We are the Lombardi family and we recommend Reno Rocket. Ahead in mind.
In Nigeria. So, as you all know, you probably haven't seen the meeting because it's our first time of meeting. And those of you out there who think that we have such big differences that we can't talk, well, you know that when people have revolutionary minds, these minds meet and the bodies eventually will meet. So it's a pleasure to introduce you to that moment. You know, more of this will come out later, and statements and video will come out also from our friend who monitor this meeting. So thank you so much, Mazi, for the meeting, and just say hello to our people on our side.
Yes. Hello to the wonderful people that follow and listen to us, our reporters, and my good friend here. So, what our discussion has yielded today is a confirmation that people can come together, that there isn't much of a difference between that which we are fighting for, because that is justice. That's what we're fighting for, is justice. That we know and hope that the people that found themselves today trapped in that contraption called Nigeria will one day be free. And it takes people to do it. It won't come from heaven. We have to do it. We have to do it, and it must be done.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Hope to see you again soon. This is the beginning of a series of conversation that will be happening. You guys watch out. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so just so you guys know, I was here when history was made. All right. Okay, guys. Okay. All right, and so just to let you guys know, I'm hanging in here with the main man, my presido, show himself live and direct in New York City.
New York City. And, it's a serious matter.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't let you guys in. It had to be kept.
We had to keep this under wraps before you guys were brought into this. Let me actually share this first.
Okay, guys. So I just want to do that for history's sake, because sometimes people forget and they think this thing started today. It didn't start today, and you can see the consistency of Omoyele Sowore. Sowore knows what he's doing. All these freedom fighters, they know what they're doing. Look, yeah, justice delayed is justice denied. I know, but our people have a proverb that if you hold something that belongs to a child and you just raise it up and you don't let the child have access to it, very soon your hands are going to start paining you and you're going to let that thing down. Okay, so that's the case with Moele Shore, with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, with other freedom fighters. Okay, what they're doing is justified. They're doing it for the country. They're doing it for the country Nigeria. They're doing it for the citizens. But the people who keep fighting them, the people who keep blackmailing them, the people who keep organizing others, make it look like what they're doing is stupid and is nowhere yielding any result. These people will soon get tired. They will get tired one of these days, and uh, uh, freedom will come to the people, and the people will win this war. Now, if you want to know, how far back relationship between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Omoyele Sowore started, you can go to our channel. If you go to Worship Media channel, even on Sahara Reporters, it's also there on Sahara Reporters. I look for the chat between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Omoyele Sowore. The video is there. You will get an opportunity to play that video and hear what two of them told each other, because it was recorded. It was very, very interesting video, and I think you should go back, search for that video. Maybe I can put the link. I think it's Showre meets with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I think if you put that video, you'll be able to see. Um, yeah, it's. Let me just post the link because I know a lot of people have asked for that video, and let me see if yeah, okay. I the funny thing is I keep seeing other people post the video, uh, and my own I don't even get to see it. So I don't. But if you just Google Nnamdi Kanu, if you Google Mazi Nnamdi Kanu meet with Omoyele Sowore, I don't care whose channel you watch it, you'll still see it. And then even apart from meeting with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Omoyele Sowore, I've had reasons to have met with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu one on one. We have spoken on camera and off camera, with a lot of. You see, we don't go around, flaunting these things or flaunting what has been our contribution to to um our contribution to the struggle from every end. But yeah, I agree. Sometimes it's important that we take you back so that you see that we didn't start today. So let me show you guys. Let me show you a meeting I had with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a one-on-one meeting. This was after the meeting between him and Omoyele Sowore in New York. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu visited Toronto, and we had this discussion together.
Some of those African leaders went to the same schools as well. So I'm beginning to wonder when they taught the same subjects or the same discipline, why must things be different? Why must we be so backward in Africa? Why don't we have any pride, no shame, nothing? So the source of my anger is quite numerous. It's not just one. But the silver bullet for me is Biafra. The emancipation of the people of Biafra will put to bed most of these rather negative things that we've come to associate with black people and black mentality. So mine is way deeper than what other people see. The fact that we are the lowest people in the world by virtue of every human measurement or indices. We are the lowest of the low. The poorest countries of the world are in Africa. The most repressive, backward regimes in the world are in Africa. The most politically naive people are in Africa. That gives me a cause for concern, and that is why I'm very angry.
Prior to the movement, the IPOB movement, I followed you, I went back to study you, and there was a time when you were on the streets of UK charging other Nigerians, not actually carrying the Nigerian flag. So it looked to me like I just want to be able to understand. I saw you then trying to defend Nigeria, and at what point did it for you where you said, you know what, I am done with these people?
In defense of Nigeria wouldn't sound quite right.
Okay.
I think that most people that refer to that video or that very gathering in London, which I organized, quoted me out of context. I organized a protest in London,
Okay.
that encompassed everybody who claims he or she is a Nigerian, to campaign against or to speak out against what Boko Haram was doing, against the imperialist Fulani oligarchy. Most people came because they felt aggrieved. They said they were Nigerians and they wanted to come to be part of it. I consulted far and wide, and I spoke at that very occasion as well. It wasn't intended to convey any sense of, patriotism on my part towards Nigeria, not at all. We were reacting to a series of events that shouldn't have happened in the first place. In this instance, what the Boko Haram people were doing to innocent people back home, especially the Igbos that were massacred in Madala, if I'm not mistaken. So that gave birth to it. And also, it served a very useful purpose to gauge the sincerity of Nigerians.
Okay, guys, I'm not gonna bore you with that video. If you want to listen to the video, go to Worship Media and watch that video. I'm gonna show you a last clip, just short clip from the video involving Shore and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why are we doing this? This is just for the sake of some of you who you don't know how far back Omoyele Sowore started with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These guys are real bodies. They recognize that they are all involved in the same struggle, albeit from different perspectives. And they have this very great mutual respect for each other. So let me show you that meeting. But it's not enough for you to see it. You have to actually go and listen to that that meeting. It will just make you wish that these two people were allowed to lead the country called Nigeria. Just listen.
Hi, everybody. I just want to welcome you guys today to this very, very important, once in a lifetime meeting, or what I believe is the beginning in a series of good things to come. I have in front of me here two gentlemen that, if you do not know them, you should go and reset your whole system. On my right is the leader of the IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra fighting for independence, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Almighty of Igbo land. Thank you very much. You're welcome. And on my left is someone who is
You've probably heard that the money is in the subscribers, or that you need to go viral on YouTube in order to succeed.
Very personal to me. He is the founder and the convener of the Take It Back movement. He is also the founder of the Sahara Reporters. Yeah, if you don't know Sahara Reporters, again, you should reset your system. He is the person of, he's also the former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress in the last election in Nigeria. Is Omoyele Sowore. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Now, this is so important because these two people here, in my opinion, represent the future of our country, Nigeria, and in a way, the future of Africa. Because I've always believed that if Nigeria gets it right, the rest of Africa will get it right. The constituencies that these two people represent, the kind of inertia, the kind of energy that is resting within the constituencies that these people represent, when this energy is tapped, Nigeria will never become the same thing ever. So I'd like to welcome you people to this interview. You guys had a meeting, a one-on-one meeting, a private meeting, and what we would want, it was off camera. So the reason why we're doing this is for us to be able to, if you permit us, to share what is the content of that personal meeting that you guys had. First of all, so Omoyele Sowore, you had initiated this meeting, and I want to know what was your reason for wanting this meeting to happen.
Well, as you mentioned, I ran as president in Nigeria in the last election. And part of the reason I ran was to see Nigeria completely
for what it is. And
Okay, once again, like I said, I just wanted to tease you guys with that video. Um, somebody says, please leave the interview, let's watch. The interview, we will make this broadcast longer. I posted the link to the interview, so please, the link is in the comment section. You can just click on that link and go and watch the video. Okay, just let me post it again. If you want to watch the video, copy this link. If you can click on it and go and watch it on YouTube, it will help you understand that what you're seeing right now started a long time ago, and people are just committed to what they believe in. Somebody like Omoyele Sowore has just been consistently committed to his beliefs that injustice to one is injustice to all. That's what you see. Just a final reminder as we begin to round up. Omoyele Sowore was at Arise TV. In fact, he was rushing to Arise TV to go and honor their invitation when he was speaking with us. Well, should I say maybe that's why God allowed the technical hitch to happen so that he will leave on time and make sure that he did not go late for that appointment. And I'm glad I was watching when I went off a little bit before Ejimakor came in when I was setting back the studio. I looked online and I saw that yes, it was actually at Arise TV, and he had that meeting with them. I don't think it's a very long one, so let's just play it a little bit, okay?
Or is he now likely to wither away in perpetual detention as his supporters fear? The IPOB separatist leader has been incarcerated for over 10 years on charges of treasonable felony, despite various court orders and appeals for his release. Till date, he stands unconvicted, and for many champions of justice, his continued detention is both a travesty and a violation of his fundamental human rights. They say this exposes the widening gap between Nigeria's constitutional provisions of a right to a fair trial within a reasonable time and the daily realities of the citizens of this besmirched country, in a world in which the enduring principle and the cornerstone of the law is that every individual is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Well, today, a new call for action has been made by the human rights activist Omoyele Sowore, challenging Nigerians across ethnic lines to join him in a peaceful march to the Aso Rock presidential villa to demand Mr. Kanu's release, even as his health is reported to be fast deteriorating in custody. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the irrepressible human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
thank you for having me.
What has motivated you to take the step of calling on people to take to the streets to draw attention to the need to release Mr. Kanu?
It's a number of things, and one is that we're friends, and we've been friends for a long time. In fact, I was one of the few people through Sahara TV that interviewed Nnamdi Kanu when he was relatively unknown before he was arrested the first time. And I met him in 2019 in New York, had a conversation about the struggle for his people, and we struck a friendship then. And I was here in Nigeria myself, held up by the Nigerian government when he was extraordinarily rendition from Kenya. In fact, I was one of the few people who ran to court by the time he had been taken to the DSS detention, where he had been deposited before after he was kidnapped from Kenya. So, but the most important thing is that I understand the nature of justice, fair hearing, his constitutional right. And it is in his own case that you can say that he's presumed guilty and he's trying to prove his innocence.
which is very sad. If you look at how long it has taken for all these court processes to take place, you know that Kanu's fate is not in the hands of the judiciary. If a decision was taken today by the owners of Nigeria to let him go, the judge might sit in the middle of the night and let him go. And by the way, on my way here, something happened. President Tinubu just pardoned 82 people. One of them was Herbert Macaulay, Nnamdi Azikwe, of course, Farouk, who collected bribe from Otedola, a cocaine dealer who was in prison for life, and a fraudster. So if you can pardon this array of people and several others, I'm not asking for pardon for him, but it's a time to let Nnamdi Kanu go.
Is there a lot of public support for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, or is that difficult to gauge?
Oh, it's unprecedented. I've been fighting for his release for a long time. I used to attend all his court trials. Under Buhari, I was attacked several times. Each time I went to court, I was attacked physically by the DSS, police, thugs. But this time around, I'm surprised at the number of known traditional people, you know what I mean, who are in support of it. In fact, there was a poll put up by, it's not a scientific poll, by Tunde Ednon's page, who's a major Instagram influencer. And out of 17,000 people, 92% of them support the call for his release and the protest that's been planned for 20th of October.
I understand you've tried to contact many leaders in the Southeast to take more public-facing action in support of Nnamdi Kanu's release. Have you been struck by their apparent lack of personal involvement and commitment to that cause?
I'm not shocked, because I think on your show I once declared that Kanu's predicament, his ordeal, is as a result of some persons in the Southeast who took a decision that his release would jeopardize their political career and future. That I know as far back as when Tinubu freshly became president, because I was part of some conversation to release him. And they said at that time, Imo elections are coming. If it comes out, APC might not win. And subsequently, I realized that some of the communiques you see is just, word of mouth by day. When they go at night or when they meet Tinubu, it's likely that they have a different position. And when I started contacting them in the last 24 hours, I'm shocked. Some of them that I used to be able to reach just switched off their lines. The ones I sent messages never responded. I reached out to Soludo, who I know personally.
That's Charles Soludo,
the governor of Anambra State. No response till now. I reached out to Alex Oti. Alex Oti used to be a columnist for Sahara Reporters, so I know him personally. No response till now. The only response I got was a nominal response that, no, we shouldn't have dragged us the way you did. Reached out to Peter Obi, they said he's in Rome. But I sent a message that, you can behave as the Romans do too, just be part of this. But some have been encouraging. Senator Abaribe, I reached out to him, he responded, he said, I'm in on this. And I know that Abaribe suffered when he was a shorty for Kanu. In fact, I was sleeping on Abaribe's bed at the DSS in 2019, shortly after he was released, because he was shorty for Nnamdi Kanu. So the rep from his state at the National House of Rep also signed up. A number of persons have signed up, some of them publicly, but there is no unified response from Southeastern political leaders or traditional rulers, or even the religious priesthood there, which many had expected would happen. But a lot of young people have signed up to this, and you can see that the Nigerian government is already pushing back because they've seen the response to be unequivocally in support of the release of Nnamdi Kanu at this time. I don't think they were expecting that such a response would be so favorable and swift.
So is this what you think is needed to push this Nnamdi Kanu issue over the line and perhaps change President Tinubu's view of Mr. Kanu, and not the sort of behind-the-scenes quiet diplomacy that has been going on since?
It's obvious that diplomacy cannot work. If it was going to work, by now it would have resolved the issue. I think they used the diplomacy or their proclamation about diplomacy to just make the public become a little lethargic about his release so that nobody, oh, they're working on it, don't worry. Because we hear that a lot from Oti, who is the Abia State governor, that is working on this quietly. In fact, I was told in court about 2 weeks ago that he will be released on head grounds. They convinced everybody, only for him to come to court, and they kept changing the goalpost, as we call it. So I don't think diplomacy has to be a combination of, actions. And one of it, I think, is going to be a loud public disapproval of his continued detention, and a protest would work, in my view, in that regard. And that's why I want these people who claim to want him to be released to join the protest. Yes, because when they have issues, they do protest. There's no major politician in this country has ever participated in the protest when their own private interests are at stake.
I was speaking to a group of Nigerian political campaigners recently, and they seem to think that mobilizing the Nigerian people for any kind of large-scale protest has become a sort of famously impossible thing to achieve. I mean, do you share that view?
Well, I don't. It's the same country in 2024 that Nigerians protested for 10 days straight in what was known as End Bad Governance struggle. Nigerians in 2020 did End SARS. It was a globally acclaimed resistance.
Well, to be fair, the End SARS was the last big protest.
Yes, but there was still a protest in 2024. It may not have been as big. What I'm saying is that, yes, there's been efforts to discourage Nigerians. And, when you go out there and kill people and charge them for offenses that are very grievous in nature, you're likely to discourage a country in which, you have 139 million people who are living in abject poverty. They just want to go out there and get whatever they can and survive from day to day, hand to mouth. So, but I don't think that is impossible. What has been impossible is the unity of purpose, because they have figured out how to divide us, along ethnicity. I remember in 2024, when we were planning End Bad Governance protest, we included the release of Nnamdi Kanu in that protest. And Ohaneze Ndigbo, when I issued a statement that they are not part of the protest. So maybe by now, we would have gotten Nnamdi released. So there's also a lot of tactics used by Nigerian government to discourage people. And some of it is how they have made it open-ended to kill protesters, implicate them in crimes that are insurmountable. You saw in 2024 how they charged children for treason. It's never happened anywhere in the world before. So, but I think the consciousness around this is great. And I also think that in some ways, Nigerians always love when things are happening in other places. They love the replica of it. You notice that there's been a lot of chatter around Nepal, Morocco recently. So maybe, that's also might be an inspiration.
Right. But I mean, are there lingering security-related things that are yet to be resolved around Mr. Kanu? I mean, can he, for instance, call on IPOB? I think he's called on them before, but again, to relinquish all forms of violence and all forms of threat to the Nigerian state. Will that be needed as well in order to convince the powers that be of Mr. Kanu's sincerity?
I think he made an open declaration in court where he said, give me 5 minutes. If I'm released, I'm going to end the violence in the Southeast. He made the declaration in court last year. What does you want from him? And you are the government, at any rate, you have a duty to protect the public. It's not his job to protect the Southeast or the Southwest. But the truth is that I have said this, and I'll repeat again. If you are a Nigerian, you can get away with a lot of things. But if you are Igbo, Nigerian, you can't get away with a lot of things. Yes,
but you're not getting away with much.
Yes, but the odds are stacked against you because you're coming with zero, and they'll do to you. I mean, it was in this country that there's a Yoruba Nation movement. They even went and hijacked a radio station last year. Did you hear of any trial? Did you hear of any arrest? I'm not using that. I'm not saying that should not be the case, but we must tell ourselves the truth. That it just doesn't look good that the Igbos are marginalized in every sector, including in the justice sector. To get a trial wrapped up in 10 years is also difficult to do, especially when you claim that you have evidence that this person has committed these grievous crimes. Nothing has been done. There's nobody who's been presented as a witness. The only witness that was presented in his case did not accuse him of any crime. He didn't say he found a gun on him or he was importing ammunition or weapons or had a grenade. He just said, well, he was making declaration that he wants Biafra. And I've checked the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 Constitution. There's nowhere it is stated that it's a crime to say that you want Biafra.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do have to, and not to sort of qualify what you're saying, but I mean, the person asking for a Yoruba nation is quite different from the Biafra issue, because Biafra, actually, there was a war in this country.
That's exactly what I'm telling you, that the odds are stacked against you.
That lasted quite some time. So in that context, and in that very narrow context, anything that appears to inflame that concept of bringing back the memories of the war and all the things that happened, and in a sense threatening this country, is something that raises the hackles of people. But let me ask you this. I mean, you yourself have become a sort of master of the protests, if that can be described in polite terms. I mean, is that because you believe that over the years or over the decades, the mood of the times in this country has been politically dark and is getting darker?
Yes, I have always stated that every president in Nigeria is worse than the last one. When Buhari left, everybody said this is going to be the worst. And after Buhari left, people were calling for the return of the Buhari regime. So that shows to you that
to be fair, I haven't heard a lot of people calling for the return of the Buhari
I heard a lot of
regime.
people who said, well,
I mean, in preference to the Chidi regime.
I've heard people say, give us Buhari fuel price, give us Buhari's Naira.
Yes, I suppose in that sense, because the prices were lower. Yeah.
The same people also went and gave Buhari a rousing burial. So it doesn't look like they hate him. I was probably the only person who said, this guy don't deserve the kind of monumental, acclaim and cheerleading that followed his burial. But that's a conversation for another day, because it's no longer. But the truth is that the country is getting darker. The electoral process has become very Byzantine. Nobody believed that elections can deliver votes that bring about credibility, that they can be free and fair, and that it is the people you vote for that will get declared as winners of the election. Of course, you've seen poverty. Yesterday, they said, this is from the Nigerian government, that from 81 million people who are in abject poverty, we have now moved to 139 million, and we have 200 million people. So we're not making progress. That's the truth, either politically, economically, culturally, and socially. I don't see.
Well, the government is disputing those sort of World Bank figures, and they would say to you, I'm sure you've heard them say it very times, that your view of this country is particularly melancholy and despairing.
Well, they've always said that, and I've never been wrong. They have been the ones who's been wrong. My position on politics, economy, in the way the justice system works has been, right. I remember in 2019 when I was arrested in the charge for treason, I made it clear. I said, nope, this is going nowhere. And that's what happened. One day they came and withdrew their charges. So when I said to you that elections are not free, fair, or credible, or that they are allocating votes, I'm not lying. When you look at it, you find out I'm right. So
I expect a lot of Nigerians would agree with you.
So, and there, on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu that we're talking about today, I've always stated that this trial was not going anywhere, and it hasn't gone anywhere. And that's why we are asking them to stop wasting resources, time, energy, and emotions on this, because the DSS spent millions of naira to come and carry out this charade in courts. They have to lock up every street just to come and seek an adjournment.
And would you say that that dark theme that you talk about, that kind of overshadows this country, has resonance for many Nigerians? I mean, you do have a huge following, but do they see this country as darkly as you do, and that sense that everything is about to explode?
They see it even more than I do. That's why they are living. That's why most Nigerians, whenever they have the slightest opportunity to leave Nigeria, you don't leave a place that is that's going to explode. I mean, that's making progress. You stay and wait for it to see the progress happen. If this place was promised land, people will be coming in. But because it is not, people are leaving, you know. The only people that are left in Nigeria are people who are stuck in Nigeria. Now, probably people who are dinosaurs who can't go anywhere because they can't sense danger.
But you're not stuck in Nigeria, are you?
I'm likely stuck. This is my passport since January. But even if my passport was not seized, I'll be here. You know, that's a decision I took a long time ago. Even though I have a right to move freely around the world, that I'm done with being, you know, having a career in being, you know, an exile or, you know, being in another person's country. Yeah, because why did we go there in the first place? We travel 12,000 miles just to go and drink drinkable water in America, enjoy electricity, drive on good roads, get good jobs, send our children to school. That's why we all leave this place. If we have that over here, nobody will be a second-class citizen in the UK or anywhere in Europe. Those are the basic reasons why we leave this place. We go and seek hospitals that work. We go and drive on roads that don't kill people. We don't want to live in darkness. We don't want our neighbors to cut our necks off because of insecurity. We don't want our police to jail us when we haven't committed any offense. That's the reason we leave. These are the basic reasons why Nigerians are living in droves. If those conditions are in place, people who have left will return by tomorrow. Some of them will return without taking a single bag of clothing to come back. But Nigeria has denied them that opportunity. And it is because of that darkness that is hovering over Nigeria almost perpetually, day and night, that people are living. That is their own way of expressing that things are not good here anymore.
Well, on that rather dark note, I want to thank you very much indeed. Omoyele Sowore is a human rights activist and former presidential candidate. Always good to see you, and thank you for coming.
Actually, free Nnamdi Kanu now.
Thank you very much indeed. That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja and Lagos, bye-bye, and thank you for watching.
All right, guys. So if you lasted till this time, I just wanted to let it roll since while we were here, we missed that interview. That's why I just wanted to let it roll. Okay. So, yeah, still saying what we're saying. Let's come out on the 20th, um, 20th of October and join in the march to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm going to give one more chance for anybody who wants to make a contribution. You want to say something, you've been itching to say that thing. We're about to close this, about to round up. But if you can click on the link, come in and say something, or you can give a call. You can call into the studio. The studio line is +1 yeah, +1 647 9892837. Okay, you can call and make your contribution, and I'll just give 5 minutes. And if nobody has anything to say, I will assume that yes, we are glad, we are happy with what we've heard. We are standing with Omoyele Sowore in the march to Aso Villa. Whether you are an Igbo person, you are from any other part of Nigeria, you are a black person from any other part of Africa, or you actually are from any part of the world, but you believe in justice, you believe in freedom, you know, you stand with us. I want to appreciate you. I want us to keep posting the videos, keep creating awareness until justice prevails. Is there anybody that wants to talk? You want to say something? You want to call in? If not, free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. That's our slogan. That's what we want to put out there. That's what we want to keep trending. Okay? It just keeps trending on its own without anybody pushing it. All right? Okay. So, yeah, you won't be seeing me quite often. You see me intermittently because we're doing other things in the background, all for the cause, or for the mission, or for the resistance, whatever you want to call it. And we'll keep doing this until we achieve what we set out to achieve. Okay? Now, on behalf of everybody here in Toronto, on behalf of Dr. Erica, I want to thank all of you for watching this program. Please share the video. Okay, there's a lot in it that people need to see, people need to hear, be able to ginger them to wake up from their sleep. All right. I'll see you guys in our next video when I'm able to make one. Take care of yourselves and bye bye.